The afternoon sun beat down on the cracked sidewalk like it had a personal grudge. Dr. Elias Grant, 42, trudged forward with the slow, deliberate steps of a man who had just lost everything but still had somewhere to be. His white coat was folded over one arm, the only thing he'd bothered to take from his locker after security escorted him out. In his other hand, he clutched a thin envelope containing his final paycheck, minus deductions, and a crumpled note from HR that read, in polite corporate speak, position eliminated due to restructuring. Elias had been a pediatric surgeon at St. Mary's Children's Hospital for 12 years. He'd saved hundreds of tiny lives, stayed through blizzards and holidays, skipped meals so kids could have theirs. But budget cuts were merciless. The board needed efficiencies, and Elias, with his stubborn refusal to rush procedures or cut corners on follow-ups, had become expensive. The chief of surgery, Dr. Harlan Voss, had delivered the news personally, "You're a good doctor, Elias. But good isn't always profitable." He'd walked out without a word. No scene. No begging. Just the quiet click of the glass doors behind him. Now, 3 miles into a 7-mile walk home, his car had been repossessed 2 months earlier, he felt the weight of it all settle in his chest. His daughter, Mia, was 8. She had her mother's eyes, wide and curious, and a laugh that could make even the sickest child in the ward smile. Elias had promised her pancakes tomorrow morning. With what? $12 and change in his pocket. Rent was due in 5 days. The fridge held half a carton of milk and some questionable yogurt. He stopped at a crosswalk, staring at the endless stream of cars rushing past. Everyone had somewhere to go. He had nowhere anymore. Then the air changed. It started as a low thrum, like distant thunder that didn't belong in a clear sky. Elias looked up. 2 black helicopters, sleek, unmarked, military-grade, sliced through the blue, rotors chopping the air with violent precision. They banked hard, descending toward the empty lot across the street from him, a patch of overgrown grass between a shuttered gas station and a chain-link fence. The downdraft hit like a wall. Dust and litter swirled in miniature tornadoes. Elias shielded his eyes. People on the sidewalk froze, phones raised. The helicopters touched down simultaneously, skids kissing earth with practiced grace. Doors flew open before the rotors even slowed. Men in dark tactical gear jumped out, 4 from each bird, moving with urgency. One carried a medical kit slung over his shoulder. Another barked into a radio. They scanned the area, eyes sharp behind sunglasses. Then the lead man, a tall figure with a commander's bearing, locked onto Elias. He strode forward, boots crunching gravel. "Dr. Elias Grant," the man shouted over the dying whine of the engines. Elias blinked. His mouth opened, closed. "Yes?" The commander stopped a foot away, posture rigid but voice urgent. "We need the doctor. Now." Elias felt the world tilt. What? No time for questions. VIP critical. Pediatric trauma. Massive internal bleeding, unstable vitals. The child's father is influential. He demanded the best. "Our intel says you're it. The only one with the exact experience on this kind of injury." Elias shook his head slowly. "I was just fired. This morning." "I'm not." "We know," the commander cut in. "Doesn't matter. The kid's crashing. Minutes count. You coming or not?" Elias glanced at the helicopters. Their doors still hung open, inviting, terrifying. Inside one, he glimpsed a stretcher, monitors, 4 poles, mobile or setup. These weren't civilian birds. This was Black Ops level. His mind raced. Mia was at after-school care until 6. He had no phone credit left to call. But a child was dying. A child. He dropped the coat and envelope on the grass. "I'm in." The commander nodded once. Move. They hustled him into the lead helicopter. Straps snapped across his chest. The door slammed. Rotors spun up again, faster this time. The ground fell away. Inside, the commander briefed him mid-flight. The patient was 10-year-old Ethan Caldwell, son of tech billionaire Victor Caldwell. Car accident on the private estate highway, high-speed rollover. Ethan had been airlifted to a private trauma center 20 miles north, but complications arose: splenic rupture, uncontrollable hemorrhage, and a rare vascular anomaly Elias had published on years ago. The best surgeons in the city were tied up in back-to-back cases. Victor Caldwell had pulled strings, accessed classified databases, found Elias's name flagged as the leading expert on pediatric splenic salvage in anomalous anatomy. He refused anyone else, the commander said. Said if it wasn't you, he'd fly the kid to Switzerland. But there's no time. Elias stared out the window as the city blurred beneath them. Fired this morning. Summoned by helicopter this afternoon. Life had a cruel sense of humor. They landed on the rooftop helipad of Caldwell's private medical wing, a gleaming glass tower attached to his estate. Security swarmed. Elias was rushed down corridors lined with marble and original art, past rooms that looked more like luxury suites than hospital bays. In the OR prep room, nurses handed him fresh scrubs. He scrubbed in mechanically, muscle memory taking over. Dr. Voss's words echoed, "Good isn't always profitable." Yet here he was, needed more than ever. The boy lay on the table, pale, monitors screaming. Victor Caldwell stood in the observation gallery above, face ashen behind the glass. Their eyes met. Victor nodded once, gratitude, desperation, command all in one gesture. Elias stepped to the table. Scalpel. The surgery lasted 4 hours. It was brutal, precise, miraculous. Elias navigated the anomalous vessels, repaired the spleen without removing it, controlled the bleed. When the final suture went in and the monitors steadied, the room exhaled. Ethan's vitals climbed. Color returned to his cheeks. Elias stepped back, gloves bloody, shoulders aching. The anesthesiologist gave him a thumbs up. Nurses clapped softly. In the scrub room afterward, Victor Caldwell waited. "Dr. Grant," he said, voice rough. "You saved my son. Name your price." Elias peeled off his cap. "I don't want money. I want my daughter to be okay. That's all." Victor studied him. "You've been let go from St. Mary's. Word travels." "I own half the board members' investments," Victor said quietly. "Consider it undone. And more. A new pediatric wing. Your name on it. Full funding. No budgets. No cuts. You run it." Elias laughed once, short and disbelieving. "You can't just." "I can. And I will." Victor extended a hand. "Thank you. For everything." Elias took it. The grip was firm, father to father. Hours later, one of the helicopters ferried Elias home. The sun had set, streetlights glowed. He stepped out onto his quiet street, still in borrowed scrubs, carrying a small duffel with supplies Victor had insisted on. Mia ran out the front door when she saw him. "Daddy." He dropped to his knees, pulled her close. She smelled like crayons and apple juice. "You're late," she said, muffled against his shoulder. "I know, baby. But I'm home." Inside, the fridge had been stocked, groceries, fresh milk, ingredients for pancakes. A note on the counter, from Mr. Caldwell. "Breakfast is on us." Elias sat on the couch with Mia curled against him, watching cartoons. His phone, new one, courtesy of the Billionaire, buzzed. An email from St. Mary's board, reinstatement effective immediately. Apologies for the misunderstanding. He closed his eyes. Fired. Broke. Then the sky had screamed for him. Sometimes, the world broke you just to show what you were truly worth. The next morning, Elias made pancakes. Mia drowned hers in syrup. He watched her eat, heart full for the first time in months. And somewhere in the city, a new pediatric wing blueprint was already being drawn, named after the single dad who'd walked home broke, only to be called back to save the day.